to date on what's happening in Ghana. A town in the western part of the country is in mourning today after it was devastated by a very large explosion. Officials in Apiate say about 17 people died and nearly 60 were injured. It happened when a mining truck laden with explosives collided with a motorcycle. The blast leveled homes and structures, turning them into smoking piles of debris. You're seeing some aerial images there. A witness told CNN some residents pulled victims from the rubble and rushed them to hospitals, and they had to do that themselves. Ghana's Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, joins me now live from Accra with more. Thank you, Minister, for being with us. What is the latest on the death toll that you can share with us?
The death toll has been revised. The number has been revised down to 13. I think earlier the various body parts gave a different figure, but as reconciled this morning when the Vice President and the supervisory delegation visited, had been revised to 13. The number of injured persons remains somewhere around 59. And a number of other persons, a little over 150 other persons are affected. Many are displaced. Currently, the National Disaster Management Organization is accounting for the many displaced persons, even as we try to provide them with first-line relief.
How many residential properties were destroyed?
The nature of the explosion is making the count of the properties a bit meticulous. We're expecting that in about the next 24 hours, there will be clarity on the number of residents in all of these properties, and indeed the number of actual properties that were in the area. This is in the very western lands of Ghana, and the effort is ongoing. We're hoping that at least in about some 24 hours, there will be a lot more clarity on the numbers.
Yeah, because the aerial images appear to show at least a section of the town that looks just completely uninhabitable. I imagine this is going to take a few days, if not longer, to make an accurate assessment. Obviously, people want to know what caused the explosion.
The preliminary report, as we've shared from the National Emergency Response Team, is just like you put it, a truck with explosives heading to a mine that got into an accident. And consequent to the accident, some sparks ensued, and these explosives then detonated. The area of impact itself and the crater, they're very devastating. Buildings close to it, some literally gone, and then those a bit further off, very, very badly damaged. Lots of persons injured, as I mentioned earlier. But at the moment, some calm has been brought to bear in that particular place, even as relief efforts continue.
But I imagine lessons will have to be learned, because having an explosive-laden truck in any way able to collide with a motorcycle in a densely populated area, are there going to be changes made so that it's more secure and more safe for residents who are working these mines and their families?
Absolutely. There's going to be a full-scale inquiry after the initial sequence of events has been properly gathered, and an assessment made of whether or not the protocols for transporting materials of that nature were followed to the letter. And if anybody, unfortunately, did not do the right thing, the necessary sanctions come to bear. And if indeed there are lapses in the protocols, some more stringent measures put in place.
All right. Thank you, the Ghanaian Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. Thank you for joining us live from Accra today.